Hi, Heather. Much like it was the case in New York just a week ago today, tonight Donald Trump is not really looking to see whether he's going to win. The question is by how much. Of all those 5 states, they're all awarding delegates tonight proportionally, which means it's tough to get all of the delegates. And out of the 118 unbound or pledged delegates that are up for grabs, the Trump campaign's targeting to win as many as 90, even 95. And in so doing, they would virtually assure that he maintains the possibility of clinching the nomination before the convention and could pretty much continue to shut off Ted Cruz, who does have a tiny little chance of actually getting the necessary delegates before the convention himself still open. In addition, in Pennsylvania, there are 54 unbound delegates, and Trump would have to get about 2/3 of those, so roughly 30, 35 or so, in order to sort of keep his win streak going. As for that alliance between Cruz and Kasich, Kasich continues to get badgered about it. The more he's asked about it, the more he refuses to say that the voters in Indiana should not vote for him. He refuses to say how Indiana voters should vote. But the alliance is basically designed between Cruz and Kasich so that Kasich would not compete in Indiana to give Ted Cruz an advantage there. And in exchange, Cruz would not campaign in New Mexico and Oregon so that Kasich would have an advantage there and be able to hold Trump back from the 1,237 delegates necessary to clinch the nomination. Lots of complicated things at stake over the course of the next several weeks. And at the Trump campaign, where a week ago we were talking about how Trump had hired Paul Manafort to sort of take over the day-to-day operations of the campaign and had effectively layered the campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski. But over the course of this last weekend, Corey Lewandowski, the campaign manager who remains, has gotten some of his duties back. And the word inside is that it has to do with Paul Manafort talking a little bit too much about Donald Trump and suggesting in what was a recorded conversation to the Republican National Committee members that Trump was acting, and that a lot of his rhetoric and performance art on stage is just that, and not the words of a politician making promises to voters for the presidency of the United States. Heather?
Good grief. Carl, I'm glad you were responsible for keeping all of that straight and explaining it to us. Thank you so much.